There's a time in our lives when we have to face new and unexpected situations that we can't manage properly, so we can do nothing but adjust ourselves to survive. People often change workplace, cities, regions, and even countries to overcome the troubles that life comes up with every day. Sometimes not only one person, but the entire family have moved and changed their situations, consequently making the problem bigger. But the solution is not impossible. Our guest today is Gabriella di Mattia, who was born in Melbourne from an Italian father and lived in Australia until her 11th year, when she had to move to Sulmona with her family.
My father, who was Italian, he was from Sulmona, he decided to come back to Italy. I was not very happy of this, but I couldn't do nothing else than come with my father. And so with all, our family got transferred here in Sulmona. My father bought a house here, he started to work, and I started to attend an Italian school. First problem was with the Italian language, especially at school. When my father decided to come here in Italy, he sent me to an Italian teacher while I was in Australia. So I remember that I could understand Italian, but I didn't want to talk in Italian. This was the biggest problem. But you know, I was just a girl, so going to school and making friends with other girls like me, everything became very easy. I started to talk in Italian, and so going on with the time, it became quite easy for me. My grandparents here, who started to make me love Sulmona. Then my father brought me around Italy and I have been visiting all the most beautiful cities of Italy, such as Roma, Venezia, Firenze, Milan, Naples. And so, by the way, I started to understand that I was in a very important country, and I should have appreciated the decision of my father to come back here in Italy. And so then studying in school and having new friends, everything became very easy. So the more the years passed and the more I became a real Sulmonese. Sulmona is such a beautiful city, is so rich of monuments, buildings and story, and so I think this is the most important things that she has to export to other countries. She should show the beauty of herself and try to let people understand and know much more about her beautiful and very old story. And I think that many people would be delighted to visit Sulmona if they could reach it easily. And how could we get this? Making publicity on Sulmona, making the world know where Sulmona is, what is in Sulmona, what you can do here. And there's really very much to do. I know many people coming from England, Australia and the United States who fell in love with Sulmona once they arrived here. Many of them bought houses here and they pass part of the years here. And so this testimonies how Sulmona can get in the heart of people. What I can do is to try to use my English with the people who come here. I always explain them all the events and the ceremonies we have here during the winter, the summer, spring, like the Easter events or the Giostra. And then I always send on social networks all the events of Sulmona, trying to explain in English what we do in the city, for which reason they should come here. And you know, it's not a lot, but I think that I do it because I really believe in it, and I'm sure that if only one people will come here because he heard about Sulmona, he saw something about Sulmona, this will be very nice for the city, and it will be a great victory for me to have made at least one person come here to visit this beautiful city.
It was a great surprise for Gabriella to find little pieces of Australian history in Sulmona.
Campo 78 was a surprise for me because, as all the people here in Sulmona, I always heard that they were English during the Second World War there. Also, I remember my grandfather used to say that they were the English in Fonte d'Amore. But one day, I don't remember how, I heard someone saying that there was also an Australian. So I said, an Australian, how could it be? Then I realized that when we speak about English, we speak about the Commonwealth, and the Commonwealth has many countries around the world. So I started to make some research on this event, and after a while I found out some extraordinary documents. First of all, the Australians in Campo 78 weren't only one, but they were nearly 300. They were all captured in the North African campaign, where they were fighting against the troops of Rommel. Once they were captured, they were sent in the Italian prisons of Tripoli and Benghazi, and once they arrived there, they were transported to the Italian camps in Italy. Some of them arrived by ship through Naples. First they stopped in Capua, which was a camp of a transfer camp, and then to Sulmona, and some of them arrived by plane at Lecce. From Lecce they have been sent to Bari, and from Bari by train they arrived also in Sulmona. They arrived in Sulmona station, and from the station they had to march till Fonte d'Amore, where they entered in the camp, Campo 78. There was a time in which there were so many Australians in Campo 78 that the Australians themselves used to call it the Aussie camp. Australia is a very young country, especially in respect of Italy, which has a very old, very ancient story. And so I think that Australia is very proud of each little part of his story. And the fact that I found this little part of the Australian history here in Sulmona, in Camp 78, I think it's a duty to give it back to Australia. In this matter, I already talked about this story to the Australian embassy in Rome, and the consul, Mrs. Louisa Smith, came to Sulmona to visit the camp before this Christmas. And she was very impressed by this story, and to see and to visit the camp. And then we had the opportunity to enter in one of the hunts, and we saw a graffiti of the Australian Commonwealth Army Force, which was drawn by the Australian prisoners in the camp. So it's the proof that they really have been there. And so I hope that this new story that nobody knew, also here in Sulmona since now, I think it will be an opportunity for Sulmona to enrich her history, and a way to give back to Australia this little part of her story left for over 70 years here in our land.
Gabriella is very active in the social initiative One for All Get Up Sulmona, which is an idea to help keeping the city clean, sensibilize people about the importance of taking care of their town.
I love to meet people coming from Australia, and some of them live here for at least 6 or 7 months during the year. And so one day we were having a pizza together and they told me, Gabby, what could we do? We love Sulmona so much. We will want to be useful for this city. What could we do? And I said, well, what about trying to give a clean up? You know, sometimes the streets aren't very clean. Probably people don't respect civil rules, throwing the rubbish where they should, where they are supposed to. So we said, why don't we try to clean up and involve also people from Sulmona trying to help us. It could be a way to improve our relationships, friendships, and so we started to do this. It was nice, and we had the collaboration of a lot of people from Sulmona, a lot of friends, and we had just a lot of fun together. One of the group who helped us a lot were the Volontari delle Frazioni, which are our great friends, and especially in the first day we started, we didn't even know what to do, and they came and they helped us a lot because they've got a lot of equipment, because they do the same in the frazioni of Sulmona, in the Badia. And so we took inspiration from them, I can say, and it was a nice experience. After all the Australians went back to Melbourne and to Sydney, so we were not in contact anymore, and then it was winter time, so it was more difficult, you know, to go out and to start to clean the streets. But probably as soon as they'll come back, I think in a month or two, we will start to do something again. I just want to say to the Sulmona people that they and I, because I think I can say that I'm also Sulmonese, we are very lucky to live in this beautiful town, and we should appreciate it much more than what we do. And we shouldn't be fighting between ourselves for everything. Because, you know, sometimes I could have a good idea, the next time you could have a good idea. We don't need to fight. We can put together all our good ideas and all the things we would like to do and work together, because Sulmona deserves it.